join us and tell us a little bit more about your contribution to the 2022 Uptown Art Week in Chicago. I know that you're going to be well, first, you've been doing art for a really long time, since childhood, and you became a Chicago artist in 2019?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you moved here then, right?
Right, yeah. So, I've been creating in different forms my whole life, since as early as I can remember. And I moved around a lot, but I landed here in Chicago after passing through many times. I'm originally from Northern Michigan, so Chicago's close to home and now is home as of 2019. So really grew my art practice here since then.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, and you've participated in all 3 Uptown Art Weeks you've had so far, or the last 2 at least?
Just the last one, actually. Just the last one. And that was a lovely opportunity. So I'm excited, to be part of it again this year. And now I know the lay of the land a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what you did last year with the ribbons and just incorporating the less with more. And I actually reached out to Matthew today to see if he would join us, the artist who painted that mural. He's actually snuck into classes and I didn't even realize it at the studio. And I bring that up because you included his art into your art, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited. I hope that he'll be able to join next Friday.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. So can you tell us, before we get into the event, can you just tell us what brought you to art and what lights that fire, that passion to be an artist for you?
Yeah, wonderful question. I think a lot of it is just that I tend to be very aware of my surroundings and very interested in trying to capture the beauty, the whimsy, the character of things that often are kind of overlooked or taken for granted. So I do a lot of cityscapes. I love architecture and just kind of accentuating different lines or colors, making things just a little more playful and a little more inviting and whimsical and layered than we might see them, when we're walking by them every day. And I'm really just also filled and drawn toward art that allows me to interrogate larger issues and challenges in society, or maybe emotional challenges that I'm having, or, helping me process different emotions. There's something just very cathartic and informative of being able to take something that might be, a really clear and concise challenge, like a societal challenge, and bringing that, I don't know, into just different layers of color and form and reimagining in a more creative way, what a solution could be. And so a lot of it is playful, but a lot of it I'm especially lately leaning more into kind of interrogating things like restorative justice, environmental sustainability, climate change, the abstract kind of notion of efficiency thinking, what does that look like? What does that mean? So yeah, that's kind of what has drawn me toward art and kept me there. And I just love color, I think is the other part of it. I just love pops of bold color.
Yeah. I could see that with the art you created in the collaboration last year. And I think, it's you bring up, it's art, I think, is such a gift because we can, it's a form of expression, right? And you can express, and it's a form of creativity. So, I mean, everything that gets creative comes from an idea. And I think there was one of the other artists where we got into left brain and right brain, and I kind of started thinking about that with what you were just saying of just, we can think about and think about and think about it, and sometimes the answer isn't there, but if you take a moment and go to your right side of your brain and maybe start to create and pick up a bright color or have that inspire you instead, like how the answers might come more fluid then. And I think it's wonderful that you are wanting to take a step and be one of those people in the world to mix the two together, because they can become very challenging and it can become very heated. And in what more beautiful way than to soften it and find answers and through the the medium of the arts. So that's awesome. And then do you remember your first memory of being like, I am an artist and I'm going to share this with the world? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I have two like instances that kind of come to mind, and it would be, as a child, I loved just sitting down with like any of the paints that my parents would put out on the table. Or I had an easel that, of course, I was little and didn't know the word for easel, and I called it a weasel, which is still like a running family joke. Like I'd be like, I want to get the weasel out. But I got really obsessed with painting portraits of cats, like the animal, but they would have like little hats and like their ears would be different colors. And I remember like my dad would frame them and hang them like in our living room, kind of above the TV. And I remember just thinking like, oh man, like these could be in a museum someday. Like these cats are just so good. And that always just kind of makes me laugh. And I think he still has some of them. So I'll need to reach out to him and see if I can secure some of my old cat portraits. And then the other instance is a little more kind of, I guess I had matured a lot in my art practice, but I was living in Bulgaria at the time, and working with a group of artists to have a variety of paintings created about kind of our surroundings. So it was a plein air. And I painted a painting that I just really loved creating. And it was really cathartic for me to like really kind of layer in my sense of like personal belonging into this painting of physical place that had been my surroundings while I lived there. And the purpose overall was to auction off these pieces of artwork to benefit a local orphanage. And I got so attached to my piece of artwork that it was purchased by someone in the community. But when push came to shove, I was like, I just don't know if I can part with this piece of artwork. So let me see if I can buy it from that person and make sure the money is still going where it needs to go. And, maybe I can kind of hold on to this piece of artwork. And thankfully, the person who purchased it was okay with that. So I still have that artwork. It's up at my mom's house now, but that was another moment where I was like, wow, I could really use my creative talents, skills, abilities to drive some kind of, a social impact. So that's a really exciting space. And I'm actually going to be auctioning off a piece of artwork at a conference on restorative justice in July. So I'm working on that commissioned piece now. And I'm excited for that to be auctioned off, just to move forward community restorative justice here in Chicago. I know that's a lot of info. A long answer.
You might buy that one back again too. Just kidding.
No, I'm gonna do my best. I've learned to not get too attached to the artwork that I'm creating. Like just enough attachment is the good balance for me.
Yes. You can always make prints, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell people a little bit more, those who are curious, join up on June 3rd, Friday at 6:30 p.m. What can they expect? What should they bring?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very excited for anyone who joined last August, when Cindy and I partnered together. We're going to be doing a similar workshop. All bodies are welcome. It'll be Friday at 6:30 in the Sheridan Lot, which is right over by the Sheridan Red Line here in Chicago. And show up with clothes that you're comfortable moving around in. It's an outdoor yoga practice that's going to be infused with art. So we just ask that you show up, and you will be given some ribbons. I have one on as an example right now. I've got 4 different colors prepared on an elastic band, and we'll set up for a nice 1-hour flow yoga class led by Cindy, who's co-hosting this, and we'll have you focus kind of on one limb at a time in the practice. And I will, similar to what I did last year, I'll trace the color in a transparent canvas, or on a transparent canvas, and then I'll be able to layer. So this is the blue, right? Like maybe this is on our right arm. I'll trace it for a while during the practice, and then I'll be able to layer them together to just kind of like embody the entire movement of the practice in color and line and form. So it turned out really phenomenally last year, and I think it's just a really inviting and welcoming way to participate in a community experience and project, participate in the arts, even if maybe you're not as comfortable with a paintbrush or a pen or clay. It's just a way to come, like, lend your body and your movement and connect with people in our neighborhood, and just celebrate art and movement and breath. And it'll be super, super fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And everyone who comes will get, it's donation based. And everyone who comes and participates, I'm going to give a scratch off raffle ticket that will have either a discount or a free print that you can redeem at the Uptown Art Fair, which is Saturday and Sunday of next week. So the 4th and 5th of June from 10 to 4. I'll be there with a table and with a bunch of my cityscapes and more quirky, whimsical art available for sale. And so those raffle tickets, you scratch it off, and it'll have some kind of something to redeem at my table. So a little added benefit of coming.
This sounds fun to me. Just have some fun.
Yeah.
And
it was
activate your inner artist.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful last year when we did this, and I'm glad that we're, re-examining it. And I like that you brought up kind of the simplicity of it, like just to give people some ribbons and to watch everyone practice together is just so beautiful. To see the colors kind of like, flowing as you're moving into Warrior 2, or as you're, moving forward and kicking your leg up, just these like flashes of green or yellow. It's really beautiful to watch and to be part of.
Yes. So come join us. We encourage registration just so we have an idea of how many people. Is there a limit? Because the lot can hold 100 people. Is there a limit?
I guess the limit is maybe 100. I can see how many more ribbons I can make, but I've got plenty. And you and I can be in touch, and as needed, we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Morgan, thank you so much for taking time and sharing a little bit more about yourself and sharing what you're going to be sharing at the Uptown Art Week. So you definitely check out Morgan's workshop, June 3rd, 6:30 p.m. at the Sheridan Lot. You can register through the Yoga Body Elements website. So Morgan she can make sure to have enough ribbons for everybody to participate. And then also check her booth out at the Uptown Art Fair the following next 2 days of the event. So yeah, anything else you want to share?
No, just, all bodies are welcome. So, we really hope that everyone feels welcome to join. And, we're both creative-minded people, and we're here to be supportive of welcoming anyone who wants to join. So, I'm just excited. 1 week from today. So I'll see you then. And yeah. I hope those tuning in can also join then.
Great.
Okay.
Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah, super excited. Next Friday, 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
Bye, Cindy.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Bye.